There are 3 places that you can find directional stitching options on the Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 3. Hi, I'm Sarah from sewingmastery.com, and we're doing all the free video tutorials on this beautiful machine. And in the description below, you will find a link to the entire playlist of free video tutorials we have done on the sewing side and the embroidery side, plus a list of all of our online courses that we have specifically designed for Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic owners. So we are talking about the ability to get our machine to not just sew straight, but to actually sew to the left, to the right, reverse, or all the different angles in between. So I will have to tell you, I had to kind of search for this. So this is how we find the 4 directional stitching area first. We are going to be in menu A, the same place you start when you turn your machine on, and hop all the way over to menu A4. A4 is called 4-way stitches. Now, they are going to look very similar to some utility stitches, but these are the stitches that we can take and change to different directions. There's a total of 17 of them, and it's fun to just take a piece of fabric and stabilizer and try them out. So let's just touch the first one. And what you notice first is the foot that it recommends is your S foot. So it's like the biggest foot you have that came with this machine. Put it on right now. And that's because it is designed to help move the fabric in directions that is not normal forward and back. We also see a reverse button. So right now we see the stitches are showing, kind of going to the right or to 3 o'clock. And that, if I stepped on the foot control right now, the machine will literally sew that way. If I touch the reverse button either on here or on the head frame right here, it will change that stitch. I also touch the screen, so it changed the stitch as well. So here's how we can go 4 different directions. So maybe you sew across, and then you want it to sew back. Whichever direction that is pointing, that is the direction it will go. Step on your foot control as far as you want it to be. Now, why would you want to sew in 4 different directions? I have used this to put patches on, where I can slide the accessory box off, slide a leg of a pant onto the free arm, and then actually have it go all the way around without having to turn the fabric or unsew the side seam to do that type of directional sewing. You've been in those places before where you realize, oh, I can't move the fabric that direction because something is sewn in the way. So this is how we go around it. So you could do a satin stitch, you can do mending stitches, you can do any of the stitches that you see here and pick those 4 normal directions. Okay, menu number A5 though is 2 options here. You'll see it says 8-way stitches, and the 2 options is that these top 9 directions is for a straight stitch, and if you use the bottom 9 directions, it will give you a triple stitch. So this time you'll have options. You literally could make a stop sign because you have 8 directions. So you can sew north, you can sew off to the 45-degree angle, do the top, work your way all the way around. That's actually kind of fun. So depending if you pick straight stitch or single or triple, that will be what you will get. Now, I have also used in the past these directional stitches in combination with decorative stitches, so like in the memory. But I'm going to show you something new that is on this machine. You will find when you go down to Create Sequence, it will, again, clear out our screen. Let's start by just adding in a decorative stitch. I'm going to just hop over to some scallop stitches. How about C2? And I'm going to just put in a stitch number 6. You will notice that there is a new compass feature right here that allows me to do any additional stitches. Like I'm going to insert some stitches off to the side here, but I used to have to go back to that 8 direction menu and then pop back to where I was, but now I can just do it right on screen. Now, again, why would I want to do this? Let me show you what I have created. And this is just simple. So you can create so many different combinations by putting a stitch in, adding some directions, and then a new stitch will stitch beside it. So whatever you want to do, if you just touch it once, you'll get a straight stitch, but down here we've got some repeats. So if I added, say, 4 times, it like puts 4 in at a time. So technically I have a total of 5 right now. So let's go ahead and add 9 and so there's a total of 10. So if I close this down, add one more same decorative stitch, open up the little, oh, I'm calling it a compass, but you know what I'm talking about. Let's just put it to 5 and then touch 45 2 times. And then if I just go ahead and take a 1-step stitch, it will flip over to my screen, and look what I have. I have a stitch that will create something totally different. So we can create all sorts of different patterns, recreate stitches that are in other machines for other looks. I have done that, but we can actually create a whole new category of stitches that are directional and can fill up a wider range of the fabric without so many just rows and rows, and I have had some fun with that. So if you've ever had some time where you're like, gosh, I wish that next stitch would start over to the side, this is how you would add it in. But you will find you can have some fun, sit down at your machine, give yourself 20 minutes a day for a week, and I guarantee that you will have come up with way more creative options because you've taken time to play. I know we talk about making a stitch book. We find that when you actually sit down with kind of a blank piece of fabric and just play, you will come up with things you never dreamed of doing on your Husqvarna Viking Designer Epic 3. So carve out some time and start to play, and this, the directional stitches, can just be one more element of creativity that you can put in your tool belt to create something brand new. I hope you'll check out our online courses in the links below and other videos that we have done on this machine right here. Click on that playlist right at the end and start learning even more.